preaching is that Marry Me is going to be our home and our special project. We are not going to have until people of Marry Me are upgraded into a I speak with a lot of authority because I was the ANC of Human Settlement that relocated Batumareva and your friends were there, but you moved on.
So the 1st of April. Marry Me, the city bought that land around 2016 from a private owner. Now it's owned by the city. Already as we speak, there are plans at place that are there to develop Marry Me. So any time from now, Marry Me, to be honest with you, we'll be having a project there of developing the area. So it's in fact, in Ward 89, I've got 7 informal settlements. Marry Me is the one that is currently at an advanced stage. And the community of Marry Me, the area committee, the leadership of that side, they are in the
ward councillor of this area. He tells me this is at an advanced stage of being developed. Panyaza reiterated that when he was here. With your knowledge, and this is what they told the community, with your knowledge, how far is it a 2026 local government ploy or is it in reality?
Look, I can tell you now that there is no political will, there's no commitment from the city of Tshwane and from the provincial government to get rid of squatter camps in this country.
That means mata a morena a kgona gore le dipelo di robehile a fihlelle pelo tse di robehileng a di lokise le tsona. We understand that you have lost people that you have faith in. When we spoke to one of the parents and said we had so much faith in the young man, we understood that as brave as he was, and that is why he stood up to be counted for his community. I want to say to young people who are sitting here today, this is your community, this is your end. You must stand up and be active in how your future must look. We have allowed people for far too long to take decisions for us, and it's about time that we started deciding our own future. The fact that we are primary does not have to limit us to what we can become. I told you that I was born in Winterfell, and we must live in a South Africa that says the circumference of the should not be and that as well as the sub-region, is that Marry Me is going to be our home and our special project. We are not going to have until people of Marry Me are upgraded into a special settlement. I speak with a lot of authority because I was the ANC of Human Settlement that relocated Batumareva and your friends were there, but you moved around to live with Mother. We are going to face them head on, and we are going to make sure that some of you are going to get stands in this place. You are going to get the infrastructure that is necessary for the lives of people to prosper. We know that that must come to an end. And we are very clear. We are capable of who have are here. We're going to look some at
Mashia, politically incorrect. We are in Tshwane. We are in a ward that encompasses Mary Me. It's a huge area, and I think I was told that it has about 12 areas. I'm going to request the councillor to introduce himself. He will introduce himself, tell us how big Mary Me is and what are the challenges that are impacting them. Comrade, how's it?
I'm well, myself. How are you?
I'm okay, man. I'm going to give you the mic, so when you are done speaking, you can give it back to me. I just want to understand, please tell us your names and what are the challenges and the nature of this place, because coming from afar, we may not understand what's impacting you on the ground and what are the challenges, that kind of support that you would need from the city to help you manage this area. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you very much. My name is Councilor Tsepo Malefane. In Ward 89, that includes Merimi informal settlement. So in terms of our area is an area that is overpopulated by youth. It's an area that is dominated by young people, and obviously looking at the current economical state of our country, it would mean majority of them that are unemployed. We've got high rate of unemployment, high rate of teenage pregnancy. Merimi in particular, it's an area that has got a lot of undocumented illegal foreigners and foreigners that are documented. So the high rate of foreigners in that area, I think it's one of the challenges that we're having, because you can't have an area where government doesn't know who are the people who are staying there, in terms of not having IDs and certificates. You know, they can't be identified. Who are they? So Merimi, it's one of those areas that is experiencing those challenges. So as a result of everything that I've just said, they contribute to the high rate of crime that is happening in that area. So yeah, that is Merimi.
So I spoke to the IFP, I spoke to Action SA, I spoke to MK during the day where there was a public memorial service. What I want to understand is, amongst the issues that we have picked up is, I put it to them to say, there are 3 issues that I was told by the community, and these issues, they speak about the community doing it for themselves. We are Africans, we make plans when there is none. Because there are no services, people don't actually understand what informal settlement is. It means places that are not formal and they don't have services. People have to make do with what they have to get services. And you live in one of the biggest cities in the world, and people who do not have services, people give themselves services, and when they give themselves services, it can be for free. So I told them to say, there are people who facilitate water provision, and of course they get paid. There are people who make sure that there's electricity, of course they must be paid. And I was asking them to say, is that a problem? If there's a problem, can government come in, replace those people and make provision for those things? And do you feel when people help each other and fund people, CPF everywhere, people, it's self-funded by the community. So I was explaining to them that it's not actually a bad thing to have that, and so people are confusing that with extortion mafia. So can you just explain, because it's important for us to leave this area knowing that when people are helping themselves at the absence of government, what does it mean, and give confidence to other people who live in similar conditions?
Thank you very much. No, I think I'm very much happy for that question, because since the incident, this issue of patrollers getting 50 rand from each and every household, people are trying to turn it into an issue of extortion, of which, in my understanding of the term extortion, it would mean that a person is paying money unwillingly. The person is being forced to pay that money, and a person is being given a service by force. That is how I would explain extortion. And in this case where we are currently, there's no extortion. In fact, what happens is that normally what we do, because of the high rate of crime, the community would organize itself, call its leaders, and request to be assisted in terms of patrolling the area. One of the fundamental issues that needs to be highlighted here is that those patrollers are the people who are residing in those areas, meaning it would be me patrolling in my own area.
Because you know it better.
Because I know it better. I know everyone. Even if I can meet with a person at night, I would know this person I know. He or she stays in house number so and so. That's the concept of our community local patrollers. So then the community then took a decision. Most communities then take a decision of saying, because our children are volunteering, are guarding us, they are ensuring that our area is safe. These people, they don't have money to go to even buy toiletries. So and people think it's a lot of money. And in fact, it's quite nothing. There's nothing that they get. Because if each and every household pays 50 rand, you would have patrollers, you've got 40, 50 patrollers. At the end of the month, you'll find those patrollers, per month they're getting 350, or 100, or 400. It's not a lot of money. So the communities, they are parents, because most of them, it's young people. Yes, obviously, there and there we've got also senior citizens. But they are the ones that took a decision. Our communities are the ones that are saying, no, but let's do something. So actually, we need to, I think we even we raised it with SAPS, this issue, because there was this thing of saying, but it looks like patrollers are extorting money from the communities. So therefore, whatever that is happening now, it's because you would have people who are running these patrollers, now they are fighting amongst each other, others want to take over and so on. It's not true. That is not what is happening.
Someone told me that one of the reasons such issues go forward is there are people in similar communities who do not, I don't want to say pay, who do not want to contribute to such community things. And when they have problem, they expect service. And this tension between those who pay for the service and the people who's assisted but does not pay service, it creates a tension between them. You do know that in suburbia, you would find lots of CPFs, and those people are, in majority, they are not employed. They are white people, and sometimes you find AfriForum chipping in. Those people, because they are organized, they do it that way. But in areas that you govern, such is not happening. And when people are not paying, they create this thing of saying extortion. And that's the unfortunate part. I just want to ask you something. Are you the one who was prevented from speaking at the hall? And what is the reason when you ask people to say they want a councillor, but when the councillor needs to speak, you do not want to listen?
Okay, let's correct this thing. You see, we are experiencing a lot of challenges now since we are towards local government elections. People want to politicize funerals. And it's very unfortunate because people have lost their loved ones, and political parties come and want to play gimmicks with other people's pains. On the memorial service, what happened was that we had opposition parties who were there. In fact, when I came in, there were some who were singing about me. But the opposition parties, EFF in particular, MK and Action SA, they are the ones that, when I was given an opportunity to welcome everyone, they wanted to play games, but they couldn't succeed because they were minority in that role. So that's what happened. So other political parties are taking this thing as a joke or as a way of trying to entrench within our communities. They want to play politics. And like I'm saying, it's very unfortunate because other families are grieving, and yet other political parties want to come and play games. Because I can even tell you now, each and every household that we visited wanted to check the challenges in terms of preparations for these funerals. you would have other political parties, your MKs. When we leave the house, the family house, they would come in, and they're actually doing nothing. What they are simply saying to those community members who are grieving is that we are MK, we are here, we see that you are having problems. The government that is in power now is not caring, so we just wanted to come and check your problems and how can we assist. But they're actually doing nothing.
Is it true that they donated food parcels to the bereaved families?
Who?
MK.
No, as it stands, the only people who delivered in terms of assisting these people, it's ourselves, nobody else. Remember, we're with
community or
no. It's me as the councillor, as a representative of government in this area. Yes, working together with the provincial government, working together with the private sector. We received donations from different companies like Bosio Spa, Crossing. They've donated to us. So nobody has delivered anything to those families as it stands, outside ourselves. So hence I'm saying they're playing politics, and at this time, we don't need those things. We need to hold our hands together and assist the families that are in grief so that they can bury their loved ones. That is what is happening here. You see, we received donations from your AVBOB, Tiro buses. You know, families have been given buses freely. So by Tiro, we wrote to those people. We requested donations, not of money, but of the items that are needed. Like your Spa, they responded very well, given us groceries. Your Tiro, they've given us buses, and many others who are doing so. So also the Tax Association also is trying to assist us. So we are working very well. And other political parties, as it stands, they have not delivered anything. Because I'm working with families on a daily basis.
Thank you very much for that crisp explanation. Lessons learned, and some of the problems, they look like they are going to be permanent. And I'll give an example. Problems like, unregulated persons living in that. I mean, we've been trying for a long time. I do not think that is going to be possible without breaking human rights laws, because I've also accepted myself as a South African that you're not going to get rid of unregistered people, because an illegal foreigner, once you make steps to remove them, you'll be breaking human rights conditions. So as a councillor, what are the lessons learned? Because the problems that are there are not actually yours, are absence of government. So what are the lessons learned, and what would you do? What would you encourage other people to do? Because we're going to the elections now. There's going to be a lot of noise to confuse you from actually giving service to the people. What have you learned, and what will you do better in closing?
Okay, I think lesson learned from this thing, I think as a community, I'm including myself, is that we need to be united as a community. And outside of all our political parties, those who are affiliated in political parties, when we speak about service delivery, we need to be united as a community. We need to be one. And also in terms of the crimes that are happening within our areas, it's because the community is not united. And I'll give you an example. The incident that happened, that thing took long. It's not something that happened with a second. Those people were brutally injured. To an extent, some died in the scene. So it shows that it took time. And for the mere fact that it took time, somebody must have seen what has happened. But because our community, we are not united, everybody is trying to secure his own house or her own house. That thing will not assist us.
While you're on that, please just explain, according when you were given the report, what actually happened, where the patrollers accosted while on duty, what actually happened?
Yes, I think the report that we have is that the patrollers were on duty and they were approached by unknown persons and they were attacked. That is the information that we are having here so far. So our community needs to be united. We need to be one, and whenever we called the executive to come to the ground and speak to our people. Our people need to be united and speak to the challenges that they are being faced on a daily basis. And if we can do that, I can tell you we'll be a community that is receiving services, will be a community that is safe, will be a better community than we are today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Comrade Pashasha, and thanks for hosting us. Good luck for trying to make a place like Merimi formal. When I see that chances of it being formal,
In actual fact, Merimi, as we speak, the MMC of Human Settlement was supposed to come, I think, on the 4th or the 1st of April. Merimi, the city bought that land around 2016 from a private owner. Now it's owned by the city. Already, as we speak, there are plans at place that are there to develop Merimi. So any time from now, Merimi, to be honest with you, will be having a project there of developing the area. So it's in fact, in Ward 89, I've got 7 informal settlements. Merimi is the one that is currently at an advanced stage. And the community of Merimi, the area committee, the leadership of that side, they are informed, they've got that information, they're empowered. This year, I think, late last year, we signed a social compact contract with the Department of Human Settlement. So we are very far in terms of developing Merimi. Yeah, so Merimi is fine.
Where does the name come from?
Which one? Pashasha?
No.
Which one? Oh, Merimi.
Merimi.
I think when the area was established, the people who established that area named it Merimi, but as in why they called it Merimi, I won't lie to you. I don't have that info.
Why are you called
Pashasha? Oh, okay. Pashasha simply means that sharp. So I'm a good person. I love people, and I love everything that I do. So somebody saw my character, and he named me Pashasha. And the name grew to an extent that now everybody knows me as Pashasha. So I think maybe there are those who are comfortable in calling me Pashasha because they know that I'm Pashasha, I'm a nice person, I'm a good person. So,
no, thank you very much, Pashasha. Hi, Pashasha, my fate. Ola, the province came down. The province came down to Merimi to come and listen to the issues that are impacting people here in Merimi. And I see you even extended, you went even to national to bring people down. What felt so important for you guys to come here? And in your delivery, in your speech, you said you are going to make this a home. With the experience that you have in running the city, you know, Barking Canaan is near. What news do you have, and why the importance of you coming down?
Thank you very much. First and foremost, what happened here should never happen at any point in the history of the country. In the history of our country. In the history of our country. No, we should never have this a situation like this. Our young people were put in a situation where they must, without guns, confront criminals who would be armed as community patrollers, because first and foremost their families, their sisters, their brothers, their mothers were not safe. Now this is what we have created as government, and as the black government that's supposed to make lives better for our people, we've created this situation. So we came down here, the convener of MKP in Gauteng, Mayor Eunice Nyembe, came down, and we wanted her to experience firsthand the fear. When you came here on Monday, you could feel the fear in the air. That's the same thing that you feel when you heard people speak. Families who lost loved ones cannot even mourn their losses, but they are afraid that they can be attacked themselves. So we are saying no South African should be subjected to that kind of a life. That's the first thing that brings us here. But also, we are conscious that we are a government in waiting. We believe that the elections were rigged. and MKP should have taken over government. But we also know that our people trusted us then, and they are going to trust us again. Because in 2026, we want to be very clear that places such as Merimi will be our priority. We must make sure that we relocate the people to safer, habitable places. We must make sure that we upgrade these places and place our people, because South Africans should not be living in squalor. This country is rich enough to be able to live, to cater for its people. Unfortunately, greed, corruption has taken over. And as MKP, we are going to confront those two firsthand, because it is as a result of greed and corruption that we find ourselves in the situation that we find ourselves in.
We are told that this area is at an advanced level. This is me speaking to the ward councillor of this area. He tells me this is at an advanced stage of being developed. Panyaza reiterated that when he was here. With your knowledge, and this is what they told the community, with your knowledge, how far is it 2026 local government ploy, or is it in reality?
Look, I can tell you now that there is no political will, there's no commitment from the city of Tshwane and from the provincial government to get rid of squatter camps in this country. They continue to mushroom, they continue to multiply in numbers. There is no way they can do that. I led a process of fighting for flood victims of Mamelodi. It was in 2019. They have not been fully relocated. Today it's 2025, 6 years later. I took up the portfolio as MMC of housing in the hit city of Tshwane. The first thing I did was to bring people closer to Roslyn in Bundu Inn. And we experienced a lot of pushback internally from these people. There is land that is owned by the city in Andion, just on the other side. It is fully developed. The only problem that you have is that there's still a few other things that need to be done. But normally how we develop areas is that we would have a layout map, put people in, go to council and get a waiver to be able to do a transit settlement and put services while people are staying there. I grew up from Block HH. That's how it was developed, and all other places. But white people there interdicted us. The city did not defend its decision. And even today, that place is sitting there. You know why? Because white people in Pretoria West don't want black people next to them. And this government is allowing that. So I can tell you now, it's never going to happen. But fortunately, in 2026, we as MK Party are going to go in there and we are going to take over. We urge our people to work with us, to fight with us, so that we go in there and take over government outright. If we take this city outright, Ekurhuleni and Johannesburg and other municipalities will be able to make the decisions that are going to change their lives. And one of that decisions is that black people must not be living in shacks.
Commander, morning.
It's a morning, Commander.